Cast Center, hot or not, columnist Russ Moore in the house.
Just before we start, I wanted to let you know that at any moment I'm expecting the pizza man to come in here with a delivery for me. So I just wanted to throw that out there. If you see me leave and grab the pizza, it's kind of like Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
So, I don't think
I need to step away,
Vlad was getting pizza.
Oh.
I was actually, if you heard me, I said I was hoping that there'd be some like little viral spoof to it but you know.
Yeah, but no such luck.
No, I got to warn people actually that tonight is water fire downtown Providence here, so
stay away.
Well, come downtown if you want to come downtown.
I'm kidding.
It will be fun, but if you have places to go, be cognizant of that because it might put a little wrench in your plans.
Right. It reminds me of Yogi Berra, what he used to say. He said, no one goes there anymore. It's way too crowded. It's like water fire. No one goes. It's too crowded.
You're the second one. Bob Whitcomb quoted Yogi Berra yesterday. So
he's very quotable.
He is most quotable. So, well, I know that you're on a tight schedule, so I appreciate your coming in.
Always on a tight schedule.
Always on this very hot day. So let's, as we always do, start with who's hot.
All right, let's do it.
Carolyn Reidy.
Oh, come on. I mean, she's on the cover of Forbes magazine. They're calling her the Bengal billionaire. And, she's a self-made billionaire. She's a Cranston girl. I think she deserves all the credit in the world. I mean, when's the last time someone from Rhode Island has been on the cover of Forbes magazine? I don't think it's been too recent. So
she's had a great stretch. She was just down in New York.
Easy decision.
We were just actually talking about it last week.
Yes.
She was in New York getting an award for the work that she does. So
for humanitarian work,
charity work. Yep. So Rhode Island
is more business. This is more business centered. So last week for her charity, this week for business. Yeah, Carolyn Reidy, hot.
It was a good week for some business execs here in Rhode Island, and I'm going to jump around in the list a little bit. Yeah. But Helena Folks and Jeff Grabowski got tapped by Fast Company. Most creative people in business.
Sure, top 100 most creative people in business, and we got two of them from Rhode Island. Helena Folks transforming CVS away from just straightforward pharmacy into a company that focuses on getting people to be more healthy so that healthcare costs decline. That's really cool. And then, of course, we've got Jeff Grabowski, who is the CEO of Deepwater Wind, which has made Rhode Island the first offshore wind farm in the nation. So, yeah, kudos to both those two. That's hot.
Big win, some business names making some national headlines, so that will always land you on the hot list. Let's go a little bit more local here. Julie Mota, teacher at Gilbert Stewart Middle School.
Sure, I watched her on Go Local Live. She was interviewed by Molly, and
Providence Teacher of the Year.
Providence Teacher of the Year, and she had some interesting comments about what it takes to be the Teacher of the Year. She tries to build a community in her classroom. She tries to, she connects with the students. So, thought I'd give her a shout out and put her on the hot list as well.
As always, and it was interesting. Molly and I were talking after. I believe she was a teacher, went to administration, decided to go back or to go into teaching. So kind of that, non-traditional route of deciding I really want to teach. And I think those teachers, when they're passionate and that's really what they want to do and what they're drawn to, I think a lot of students in Providence are very fortunate to have Miss Mota as a teacher.
Without a doubt.
Putting her on the hot list. Let's talk a little politics for a moment.
Oh.
Senator McCaffrey.
Yeah, definitely. Senator Mike McCaffrey down in Warwick. I placed him on the hot list because he spearheaded a piece of legislation that would require all the cities and towns in Rhode Island to post the minutes of their meetings online, which the minutes are a basic summary of what happened at the meeting. That is a really good bill because right now they don't have to do that. There's a loophole in the law, and we can tell you as reporters that this would be a great help. If we, sometimes you can't be in two places at once, and this would be a tremendous help. You can find out what's going on. You can dig deeper. So I really hope that the leadership of the House will get behind this bill and pass it because it's good government and it's open government, and we need it. We need more of that in Rhode Island. Good government is just that. So
it seems like a common sense bill that, as you said, good government types, reporters, folks who just want more access, more transparency, a little more sunshine.
We've got enough city and town and state workers to make this happen. We can do this. We got to do it.
Okay, Senator McCaffrey on the hot list.
Yes.
Robert Capron, Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I saw the interview. I thought it was really impressive. It was, he's been famous from the Diary of the Wimpy Kid movies. He's a Rhode Island native. He's at Brown University now, and he said that he eventually wants to become a lead writer for television shows. He wants to be a showrunner. So, God bless him. I think he'd be great. He's certainly got the experience. So even though he's so young, and I think we can expect more great things from him going forward. So I thought he did really well in the interview.
Rhode Island success stories, and it's good to see him going to school here in Rhode Island. I think that will continue to point to him, kind of moving forward, saying, "Hey, he's from here." here's his pedigree from being a child actor to what he wants to do in the industry. So Robert, we wish you luck.
Even though you don't need it.
You don't need it. You're a rock star, and we appreciate your coming
course.
in to go local to talk.
Absolutely.
To wrap up the hot, of course, how could we not have sports, and how could we not have the horses?
Oh God, yeah, the horses. Yeah, I'm an expert on the horses, right? Because I picked the winner of the Derby. If I remember correctly.
Are you gonna put that in every time you come in the hot list? Are we gonna be talking in November and be like,
of course.
Just want to remind you, I picked the favorite. I picked the favorite for the Derby. I picked the favorite.
There was like 3 horses that were favorite. All right, listen, you got me. All right, I'm hard on you sometimes, so
What?
you got me there. You're gonna dish it. You gotta be able to take it. So okay, I won't. Anyway, the Preakness Stakes
Who
is
do you
tomorrow.
like? Say it tonight. Get right now. Who is it gonna be?
All right, I do like the same horse. However, I'm not going to, he's a real strong favorite this race, so I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to give you another horse to look at. The 6th horse by the name of Gunnevera. He's ridden by the best jockey in the world, a guy by the name of Mike Smith. If there's anyone who can get this fast colt to the finish line on time, that would be Mike Smith. So if you're looking for a good price, over 10-1, because you're saying I always bet the favorites, over 10-1, Gunnevera. That's a value play.
Russ Moore's value play.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, if 6 o'clock rolls around tomorrow and something happens, I'm expecting my phone to blow up from you, being like, I go, they don't go.
Yeah, if he wins, you will be getting text
If he
messages.
wins,
If he loses, I'll be silent as a mouse.
I won't say anything. You got to put yourself out there to make these sort of.
Sure.
No, I give you all the credit. All the credit.
All right, I like
here.
that. That sounds
Okay.
better than what I heard 30 or 40 seconds ago.
All
Good.
the credit in the world.
All right, I like that.
So now we got to go to the not hot list.
Some people that are not going to get credit, right?
The not hot list here. Let's start with the Pawtucket Red Sox ownership.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like they bought the team for $30 million. Now, they said they were asking for 38, but they were actually asking for more because of the interest payments. And this whole revenue neutral stuff really isn't revenue neutral because they're going to use accounting gimmicks and they're going to say, well, the $1 million of rent that we would be paying anyway is going to go to the stadium. So I just feel like they're looking for a lot of money that, quite frankly, we Rhode Islanders don't have. We like having the Paw Sox, but my message to the Paw Sox ownership would be, if you can get a better deal somewhere else to take this team that you bought, don't let us hold you back. Do what you have to do. We'll find some other team to play baseball and watch. So that's my take on it. Might be a little controversial, but again, I would just tell the millionaires that own the Paw Sox, don't let us hold you back in your endeavors.
Now, the announcement was made earlier this week. It feels like it was, made like a month ago.
God, yeah.
And, we've seen the reaction, especially from elected officials, not quite sure what to make, because we have seen a lot of opposition from the Republicans, from the Progressive Democrats, from the Libertarians,
from normal people who just go to coffee shops or go to bars or you meet in the convenience stores who tell you this is crazy. It's not just parties, and it's not
parties, it's not politics. We had Angus Davis from Upserve, literally 2 blocks away, one of the success
not
stories.
a political guy either.
No,
Yeah.
Very involved. I've always been involved with education, but
But not a partisan guy.
But not a partisan
Right.
guy. Just stepped forth and said, "Hey, this just doesn't make sense." Had him in for a great interview this week. If you didn't catch it, be sure to do
Yes.
so.
Smart guy.
Very, very smart guy.
He's been on the hot list numerous
very
times.
successful guy.
Sure.
And doesn't mince words, but doesn't also do things flippantly.
And that's what we like.
Yes.
That's what we like.
Angus, great interview this week. So let's continue to go down the not hot list here. Rhode Island's drug problem, fifth worst in the country.
Sure. I guess we have the 5th largest drug problem in the country according to WalletHub.com. So it seems like we should be investing our money in drug cessation and drug prevention, not baseball stadiums. So I think that's a really salient point that you make by lining those two up right next to each
Now,
other.
I do have to say I was at the governor's briefing this week with some reporters, and the question, of course, was how do we address this nearly $100 million revenue shortfall? And one of the things that she mentioned is she's committed to maintaining the economic incentives to move the state forward. So we're talking about whether that's education or helping businesses. And she did point out, she goes, well, that leaves cuts that need to be made. And she did make a point of saying social services is a large portion of the state's budget.
Okay.
So looking at that, so who amongst the social services will be impacted, I think is going to be a really big question, because yes, it's a big part of the budget, but also there's what happens to these folks who had been utilizing these services, whether it's drug issues or anything else of that nature.
I just don't understand the governor's point when she thinks we need to be throwing $2 million at Vistaprint when we've got Moo.com here competing with them. And she thinks that's an economic investment that's going to pay dividends, yet she'd rather cut from our most vulnerable in our most, the poorest of society. I don't see how that makes sense. I don't see how we're going to prioritize corporate welfare over human welfare. I think the governor is a brilliant person, but I just don't see eye to eye with her on this issue.
And that was something you had on the not hot list here. You had the Commerce Corporation head Stephen Pryor on it, again, specifically for Vistaprint. Now, we had the piece today in Go Local. We actually spoke with small printing owners who kind of said, you know what, I'd like some investment here. And I'll tell you what, Commerce did come back and say there are tools for small businesses, but there seems to be a disconnect if the small businesses, when we speak with them, don't know. So it'll be interesting to see moving forward. Of course, it looks like a big win on behalf of the governor to be able to announce this, but to be able to provide that connection to the average, printing shop down the street that says, okay, well, how do I go about being able to add jobs, add value to the economy, make my business more successful? I think that's something that folks will continue to look at closely moving forward.
Sure. It seems like we've got a lot of government by press release going on in the out of the State House, and I think it's a little troubling.
A lot of government by press release. You did put Representative Bobby Nardolillo, who's going to be on Pat Ford's show here this evening.
Sure, I like Representative Nardolillo. I think he's got a lot of good ideas. I think he's a good guy, but I just think he didn't look. Again, this is the hot or not list, so it's who's doing well in the news and who's doing not so well in the news. He's doing not so well in the news. When you wear a bow tie to stop bullying, but then at the same time you tell a reporter that your daughter's accused of bullying, but I can't get involved, that's not a good look. And that's horrible messaging. And I just think that it's an unfortunate situation, but I think he could have handled it a lot better. So he had to go on the not hot list this week.
No, and put them on the not hot list, but there's a game tonight. The Celtics.
Yeah.
Is it just a mismatch? Are they just outmatched?
Yes, overmatched. Yes, it'd be like me trying to play tennis with Novak Djokovic. It's not going to work. They're going to get swept. They're not going to win a game.
There's just no way. There's no coaching that can say this is how we handle LeBron. No.
If there are two teams and all else is equal or even close to equal, then yeah, the Celtics have great coaching. They have better coaching than the Cavaliers, but it's not about the coaches at some point. At some point, it's who has LeBron James and who has Kyrie Irving and who has Kevin Love and other guys who can shoot the three. So they just give the ball to LeBron, and either he goes to the basket or you put two guys on him and just pass it to the other guy and they hit the three-pointer. So
but here's the question for you.
Not going to end well.
Not going to end well, but the number one pick.
The number one pick is an awesome asset, especially in this year's draft. So things are looking. The immediate future is looking dark for the Celtics, but get past this season and things are looking up. Things are looking bright as we go forward.
Well, I mean, let's talk about where the Celtics are since the beginning of the season.
Exactly.
Again,
they were predicted to maybe the 5th, 6th seed. Now they're the number 1 seed and they're in the Eastern Conference Finals. No, don't get me wrong. This season is a smashing success. So the Celtics are actually hot.
They're going
to lose, but they're hot.
They're going to lose, but they're hot.
Go figure.
So we'll see next Friday when you're
in
how it matches up. Russ Moore.
No.
Oh, you like to do the
no pizza. And the pizza didn't come. Oh well,
I'll
have to wait.
Vlad
I'll wait
was
back
ordering
in.
pizza. He's a busy guy.
All right, later.
I'm expecting big things from Russ Moore, taking a look here and saying that he's delivering pizza here to the set. But it is hot here in Providence, record-breaking heat. But I can see folks already turning out for Waterfire this evening, so I think it's going to cool off a little bit tonight. Looks like it probably will be a good time. But it's hot or cold, according to Russ Moore. There's only 2 ways each week that someone can go, up or down. Broke down who he had up or down, and obviously maybe not thinking the Celtics right now, but who knows? We'll see. They have a game tonight, and